Hello and welcome, everyone. Welcome to another Lunch with Lisa. I'm Lisa Warner, and I am the author of The Simplicity of Self-Healing. And I am a teacher and mentor for those who are willing to heal themselves, to take responsibility for their own health, and learn the power that they have to heal themselves. Today, let's talk about the healing power that is hidden in your cells. We have all been taught that healing comes from a pill. We have all been taught that there's something wrong with our bodies when we don't feel well, or when our bodies aren't acting the way we want them to act, or when they display symptoms such as tumors or other vomiting, diarrhea, all those really fun things that happen to bodies. Well, turns out they're really not happening to our bodies. Our bodies are producing those symptoms on purpose. What if there was a method to your body's madness? What if those symptoms are there for a reason? And what if there is power in your cells? Our bodies are designed to heal themselves. It's pretty obvious when we look at a broken bone or a cut or a bruise or a sprain. Our bodies heal automatically from those things. And guess what? If our bodies heal from one thing, our bodies can heal from everything. And it turns out that our bodies have intelligence. Our bodies actually know what they're doing. It seems kind of hard to believe because, well, why would my body be producing this tumor? Why would my body be exhibiting these symptoms? Why would I feel like crap? If my body was intelligent, wouldn't it just stay healthy and balanced? No, because we don't stay balanced. We go into states of fear and doubt and worry and anxiety. Those are all signs of being off balance. It's not a negative, it's not bad. It's just simply a sign of off balanceness. When we don't feel good in our bodies, and shame and guilt and anxiety and fear, those things don't feel good. When we're feeling like that, our cells are feeling like that too. In fact, the only reason we feel like that is because our cells are showing us that. Our cells are our direct path home to source. Our bodies are designed to feel bad when we're pointing away from our destination of home. Our bodies are designed to let us know when we're dimming our light, when we're not shining bright. Each one of us is a soul that has come here into a physical body with brilliant gifts and talents to bring to the world. But this world beats those things out of us most of the time. Most of the time, by the time we're a teenager, we feel about this big. Our self-esteem has taken massive hits. And when we don't recognize our own brilliance, when we can't see the brilliance of our own soul, then we can't see the brilliance of our bodies either. And when we walk around assuming that there's something wrong with us, that we're not worthy, we're not good enough, we just can't make things work, why can't I have money? That was my favorite. All kinds of ideas that don't feel good. That's our body saying, hey, you're thinking something that's not true for you as the grand, brilliant soul that you are. So our bodies are our best friends. Now, what do we have here? Michelle, why are people unkind? What do they do? What do they get from it? There's another question, right? Unkind people are people who have been on the receiving end of unkindness. When we're on the receiving end of unkindness, it makes us put up our defenses. We try to shield ourselves from that unkindness. So we put our hackles up and we try to protect ourselves and defend ourselves. And when we are in that protection mode, just like a wounded animal will lash out at the very hand that's trying to help them, wounded people lash out because they don't feel safe. They don't feel heard. They don't feel respected, honored, loved. This is a very, very unkind world right now. But it doesn't have to be that way. And we each have the power to change that. And that power is right inside our own cells. When we start working with our bodies, when we start recognizing the intelligence that we have at our disposal, the power that we have at our fingertips, literally, we can change the world overnight. We can change our health overnight. But we have to be able to see the power that we have. We have to see the brilliance in ourselves. We have to recognize that we have everything we need right inside. We can't use what we don't know that we have. And when we don't know that our bodies are designed to automatically heal themselves, to rebalance themselves, then we start looking outside ourselves for the answers. We start to simply assume that there's something wrong with ourselves, that there's something wrong with our bodies. And we're trained to go to doctors and to go look for answers outside ourselves. But all the answers are inside. The answers to our well-being, the answers to come from our connection to source. Each and every one of us has the ability to gather everything we need straight from source. But we have to tune in. And we have to notice that connection. We have to notice the light that we each have access to. And when we can start utilizing that light consciously, We can start utilizing the light inside our own cells to heal ourselves, to balance ourselves. When we turn our light back on and we start operating from excitement and enthusiasm and curiosity and peace and ease and well-being, rather than from the darkness of doubt and fear and shame and guilt and anxiety, we can turn everything around. This world is designed to steal our light, but it can only steal our light and dim our light if we allow that to happen. When we start tuning inside and we start to realize that everything we need is inside, we can start creating heaven on earth. When I found myself facing cancer, it was terrifying. And my life was a living nightmare. When I felt like I was a victim, that I was being attacked by this enemy, it felt horrible. And it took me a while to realize that the reason it felt so horrible is because it wasn't true. I was believing something that was not actually true. I was believing what I had been told. I was believing everything that the external world just simply tells us to believe. And it appears like it's a totally logical belief. But what I discovered was that it's not, just because it seems logical doesn't mean that it's actually true. So when I decided not to use the medical route to heal myself, and I started looking for the answers inside, I started to connect to my higher level wisdom, the wisdom of my soul. And what my physical eyes, my human eyes were looking at was completely different than what my soul saw. My human eyes saw disease. The eyes of my soul saw perfection. The eyes of my soul saw that my body was functioning exactly the way it was designed to function. As soon as I was able to look through the eyes of my soul rather than just through the pre-programmed eyes of my human, everything shifted. I realized that as soon as I got myself out of the fear, it was the fear itself that was preventing my healing. It was the fear itself that was throwing my system off balance. It was the fear itself that was the enemy. And when I stopped the fear, when I suddenly saw that I could actually trust my own body, that my body already had everything that it needed to bring itself back into balance. All it needed was me. It needed me to become present. It needed me to be on its side because it was already on my side. My body has been on my side the whole time. And your body is on your side too. Your body is your best friend, but it can't be when you don't trust it. It can't be when you're listening to the rhetoric that there's something wrong with it. There is healing power in your cells, but you can't utilize it if you don't recognize it, if you don't see it, if you don't know that it's there. And we're simply taught that it's not there. We're taught that there's power in the pills, because that makes a whole bunch of people a whole lot of money. There's profit in our pain, but it's not our profit, but it is our pain. And we don't need to live in pain anymore. Right now, this is the shift of consciousness. This is the great awakening. Michelle, awesome. I see my soul as perfect. I see my body as disabled. Why this disconnection? Because the disabled is completely the illusion. That is the illusion. That thought pattern right there is not true. That's why your body doesn't feel good, because you're embodying a mistruth, an untruth. Our bodies are functioning perfectly every minute of every day. They're doing exactly what they're designed to do. They're following our commands. We've never been taught that we can command our bodies. And it's not about do this, not that type of command. It's about taking command of our own energy space, taking command of the configuration of our own energy, taking command of the situation in such a way that we feel good. It's about commanding our space, configuring ourselves into the configuration that feels good. Because when we feel good, it means that we're in alignment with the soul. When we have body, mind, and soul fully aligned, energy flows and it's easy. When we're operating from our higher wisdom, we can manifest anything we want. We can create anything, especially health and well-being. We can create health. We can create wealth. We can create joyful, happy scenarios that appear in our lives. But in order for that to happen with ease, we have to be in alignment. And that thought that your body is disabled is not true. Your body is fully abled. Your body is fully able to bring itself back into balance. But you have to bring yourself back into balance, which means clearing out the fears, the doubts, the worries, the guilts, the anxieties. It means letting go and letting God. It means trusting in the well-being of every human on this planet. Trusting that when we allow the universe to flow through unimpeded, that health is the automatic result. Anywhere we feel bad, it's a blockage of energy. It's a building up of pressure, just like a dam on a river. When you put a dam across the river, the water backs up and there's pressure on that dam. Okay, so the dam doesn't move and the water just keeps building up behind it. Okay, if we dam up the flow of energy in our bodies, the energy flows exactly the way water flows. So when we block the flow of energy in our bodies, fear, doubt, guilt, worry, shame, blame, all of those things block the flow of energy. When we block the flow of energy, pressure starts to build up in our bodies, and our bodies start to let us know. Our bodies start to feel uncomfortable. And it's in service to us. Our bodies feel uncomfortable because they're saying, hey, you got a dam built up here. Are you going to address that? hey, take a look over here. And where it shows up in our bodies is our body pointing directly to the thought patterns that are out of balance. We could have multiple thought patterns that are out of balance, multiple fears, doubts, worries, shames, blames, guilts, multiple misperceptions, such as my body is broken, my body is disabled. That's not true. So that thought is not going to feel good. And your body is going to directly reflect that thought pattern. So what if you can turn that around? What if you can recognize the brilliance of your body? What if you can start to recognize that your body is functioning perfectly? That it's simply you haven't understood how to operate your body, because you know what? None of us have understood how to operate these bodies. We've never been taught. We've never been told that we have the power to change anything in our bodies. We've never been taught that our bodies are brilliant. We've simply been taught that we are broken, that our bodies are broken. And that's by design. Because empowered humans don't need to be governed. And we've lived in a system of government for eons of time, thousands upon thousands of years. We have been governed. We have been told what to think. We have been told what is true. But you know what? Our bodies have always been on our side. Our bodies have always helped point out the mistruths. By feeling bad, by contracting, by getting that feeling in the pit of the stomach, by getting that little inkling, that little intuition. That's our bodies trying to help us. So can you start to recognize that your body is on your side? That there's power stored right in your cells. The power of healing has always been in your cells. Every single one of us. I'm talking to everybody, myself included. The power is inside. The power to change your life. The power to change your health. The power to change the world is right inside. We just have to be willing to look. We have to be willing to embody our power rather than embodying the disempowerment, the shames, the guilts, the fears, the doubts, the worries. We have taken those things into ourselves. We have been told to worry. We have been told to live in fear. We have been told that there's something wrong with us. We have been told that we should be ashamed of ourselves. Since childhood, we have all been told these things. None of them are true. None of them are our truth, but we have embodied them. Because when we're told those things, that energy that spews forth from the person telling us, they're sending that energy straight into our energy field. And when that energy comes into our energy field, it shocks us. And that shock is the energy entering our cells. And that feeling of shock or surprise is our body letting us know that we just received some energy that doesn't belong to us. And it's an invitation to let it go. It's an invitation to look from a higher perspective. It's an invitation to open up our heart and connect to our soul level wisdom. Because the soul is the solution. The soul is unconditional love. Love, the frequency of love is literally the antidote to fear, doubt, worry, shame, blame, guilt, which are all heavy, low frequency vibrations. Love, the high frequency. It's like taking some beautiful little fine-grained sandpaper and smoothing out those wobbles of fear, doubt, worry, shame, blame, guilt. The love is inside. Michelle says, just when I get to a good place, people close to me devalue me, and I go right back to the bottom. I don't have strong boundaries. I get weaker with each comment and act. So your boundaries, you see that that your boundaries have not been established. What's a boundary? A boundary is our own self-worth. The boundary or the boundaries that we set for ourselves. When we choose how we want to live, healthy, happy, curious, confident, with dignity, honor, respect. That's a way of configuring our energy space. And when we configure our energy, when we make a choice to live by those energies, those energies feel a certain way in our bodies. And they feel good. Dignity, honor, respect. It makes you feel a little empowered. Like, yeah, I deserve to be treated with dignity and honor and respect. And I choose to treat others that way too. And when you choose those things clearly, and you start to wear those energies by embodying those energies, that's what creates the boundary. It's not a wall. Boundaries are not about walls. They're about an energetic configuration. So the energy becomes like the walls of your house. And just like when you're in your house, the external world, you don't invite the external world to just come traipsing through your house. You know, if people have been out playing in the dirt and mud and, you know, you don't invite them to come, hey, just walk right in and sit on my couch. No, it's like, you're all muddy, stay outside. You know, clean yourself off before you come into the house, right? Same thing, people with muddy energy. You don't just invite it in. But we've all been taught that we do. We were all taught that we have to. We're all taught that we're not okay, that people in authority tell us, well, you should be ashamed of yourself. You shouldn't do that. You should never think that way. All kinds of things. You should be afraid. Do this, because if you don't do this, then we have energetic bullies. We have people with sloppy energy, with muddy energy. And just because they're loved ones doesn't need to mean that we need to accept that energy in our space. We can very lovingly set our own energetic boundaries And when people say things to us, just because somebody says something to devalue us does not mean that we have to believe them. We can only feel devalued if we allow ourselves to believe whatever it is they say. When we are children and our parents say, "You should be ashamed of yourself," just because they say it doesn't mean that we need to be ashamed of ourselves. Look at all the times that we got scolded for literally nothing. But we feel bad. We're like, oh, what did I do wrong? Fact is, we didn't do anything wrong at all. But we took on that energy because we didn't know we had a choice. But now we're adults. We know that we have a choice. We don't have to believe the stories that we're told. We don't have to take on these energies. We don't have to listen to the people that tell us that we need to be afraid, that we need to feel bad about ourselves, that we need to mistrust our bodies, that we need to throw our bodies under the bus. We don't need to listen to that and believe it. We have the option to, but we don't have to. And when we start treating ourselves better and expecting better, we're taught to expect sickness. I expect health. It feels a whole lot better, and I get a whole lot better result. We're taught to expect the worst from other people. I actually expect the best from other people. I expect to be treated with dignity, honor, respect, and love. And then I get shown that back. I didn't used to be like that. I used to expect rejection. I used to expect to be contradicted because that's how I grew up. I was always told I was wrong. I was always told I should have done better. I was always told that what I did wasn't right. Just because I thought differently than the other people around me. So by the time I was 30, I felt about this big. My self-esteem was about this big, teeny tiny. I couldn't function in life because I had let everybody else's energy run me over. I had let everybody else walk through the living room, spewing their muddy energy all over my energy field. And it took me a long time to clean my house. It took me a while to realize I didn't need to carry around all that mud in my energy field. It took me a while to realize that I had power, that I was actually a powerful being, and that all I had to do was make some clear choices about what I wanted and start clearing away the stuff that I didn't want, start looking at the energies, the shame, the blame, the guilt, the doubt, the fear, the worry, the anxiety, all those energies that made me feel terrible. I had to look at that because that was all the mud that was traipsed through my own living room, the living room of my energy field, my living space. I didn't understand that I had my own living space and that energetic space was what actually attracted my reality to me. Ozzy! Hey, I am so glad to see you here. Way to go, man. Awesome. So anyway, all of us, we all have our own energetic space, and we're each responsible for our own living room. Who has traipsed energy? Who has traipsed muddy energy through your living room and left the footprints on your rug, left their butt marks on your couch, their hand marks down your walls. Are you ready to clean it up? And it sounds like, oh my God, this has been happening for years and years and years. There's going to be, I got a lot of work to do. What if it's not work? What if it's actually simple? What if your light will cleanse the entire space? What if by simply turning up your own light, that light will literally purge your energy field and clean your living room? What if it's simple? What if you don't have to go through thought by thought by thought, clearing out bad belief by bad belief? What if you can simply turn up your light? What if you can simply tap into your own personal power? What if you can simply tap into your light, which is the light of source? What if you have the power of source at your fingertips, literally? What if you could change your life simply, easily, effortlessly, just by turning on your light? What if your light is your power that heals your body, that smooths out the wobbles of your life, that literally will start creating heaven on earth? What if your light is the light that tips the scales of humanity and brings in a brand new reality on this planet? What if you are the 100th monkey? What if it's your light that we're waiting for? Are you willing to turn on your light so you can clean your house? Right now, they use light therapy, right? Have you seen that they're using light to clear things, to sterilize the environment? It's a metaphor. It's the physically manifest. It's the physical manifestation of what I'm just talking about, that we each have the ability to turn on our heart light, to let our light shine, to let our brilliance be seen. Are you ready? Are you ready to let your light smooth out all of the wobbles? Are you willing to be the 100th monkey, the one that changes the consciousness of humanity? Each and every one of us have that power. Who's it going to be? Who's next to turn on their light? All right, if you are ready to turn on your light, reach out to me. My website, connectingyoutoyou.com, spelled out in full. Connecting you to you. It's connecting the you that has been allowing people to trample through your living room with their muddy energy, to the you that is brilliant and clear and living the life of your dreams. You, the higher self, the soul being that is brilliant and radiant and totally capable of creating heaven on earth. So reach out to me through my website or send me an email, lisa@connectingyoutoyou.com. If you're on Facebook, send me a message through Messenger, or reach out through my Facebook group, Soul Sourced Healing. And let's get you back on track. It doesn't have to be difficult. My book is called The Simplicity of Self-Healing. It doesn't have to be difficult. Healing your body is literally simple. Your body is designed to do it for you automatically. So you're ready to clean your house? Are you ready to be brilliant again? Are you ready to live your greatest lifetime? I look forward to hearing from you. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Until next week, create for yourselves a great week. Bye for now.